So, hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we start, I just thought I would like to tell you a short story about Hanuman, because you know full splits in Sanskrit are called Hanumanasana, so the pose is Hanumanasana, which is coming from Hanuman, which is basically a god in Hinduism, but it doesn't have so much to do what I want to say with some religion. It's about the story behind. So the story comes from, and disclaimer, I actually heard this story from Megan Carey in her online studio class, also focused on opening the hamstrings and coming into splits. And I loved it, so I would like to spread the story further. So it's about Prince Rama. It's actually from ancient Indian script Ramayana, and it's about Prince Rama, who was living in ancient India. And his wife Sita and brother Lakshman. So Rama was actually, for some reason, sent into exile, and his wife and brother followed him. And as they were living in exile, actually some evil men came over and they abducted his wife Sita. So they started searching all over for her, trying to figure out where she was held, and actually Hanuman helped them and he managed to find her. So then they collected all the men they had and they went to save her. And of course, as the other side was protecting or didn't want to let her go, a war started. And within the fights, Rama's brother Lakshman was severely wounded, and the only thing which could save him were some specific herbs from Himalayas. But they were far away from the Himalayas. They were like completely somewhere on the south in Lanka, and the Himalayas were far north. So there was no chance that they could make it to the Himalayas and back in time. And so Hanuman, who was devoted with his whole heart to Rama, took his giant form, which he was able to take, and he took a huge leap to Himalayas, all the way to Himalayas. And as he didn't know which herb to take, because there were so many of them, he just decided to take the whole mountain and then took another giant leap back. And they managed to save his brother. And then after they saved him, he took again a giant leap back to the Himalayas to return the mountain. And the fights continued, and they managed to save also his wife Sita, and happy ending basically. But the point is about the story of Hanuman is actually the story of devotion, having so much devotion to something or someone that you take this huge leap and you surpass what you think is possible. And so this I would like for us to take also into today's class. It's not just about focusing on the final pose, the full splits, and maybe being frustrated if we don't manage. It's about having devotion to the practice and actually to every single pose which we take. And maybe also to why you practice, to the reason behind. Maybe some more general or the reason which you have specifically today. So yeah, it's the story of Hanuman and the story of devotion. And as we have been now already sitting for some while, let's come on all four. Let's come on our knees and hands. And we'll take a few cat-cows. So with inhale, open your chest forward and look up. And with the exhale, around your back and look down. Take a few repetitions in your own rhythm. And then maybe you can come again to the middle, finding the neutral spine. And then for a moment, close your eyes and just feel how your body wants to move. It doesn't have to have any specific shape. It can continue with the cat-cows, or you can do some more side-to-side movements. And you don't need to feel restricted that you have to stay only on the knees and hands. So for a moment, just connect with yourself. And if you are practicing this at home, then you don't have to be worried at all. Nobody's watching you. Or maybe just, your family member or someone. So don't care if the movement looks weird. Take a few more moments, few more breaths. Just do whatever feels good. Pay attention to the tiny, suggestions of your body, the subtle feelings. And then slowly but surely come back to where we started, come back to the neutral position, and then open your eyes, tuck your toes, and come into our first down dog. You can still keep your knees bent. I don't know about you, but for me, every time I do the down dog for the first time, my hamstrings and my calves are anyway super tight, so I cannot straighten them too much without rounding the back. So just maybe step one leg and the other, releasing a little bit. Take a few breaths, try to prolong the spine. So find one straight line all the way from your head, your neck, to the base of your spine. And then round your back, come forward, come into plank. And exhale, slide back into down dog. Let's take it one more. Inhale, plank, and exhale, down dog. Inhale, and exhale. One last time, and stay in plank just for a short time, activating the muscles. And then lower your knees, lower down on your belly. Open your chest forward. So yes, this is a splits class, but we need to warm up the whole body, including our spine. Spine is very important. Push your shoulders down, making space between the shoulders and the ears, opening the chest forward. You can, whenever you are in Sphinx, you can imagine pulling back. Pulling, even though the hands are not moving literally, grabbing the mat and pulling back will open the chest forward. And then lower down, and maybe you can take a small cobra and exhale. With the next inhale, come back to high plank and exhale back to down dog. Very good. Let's take one nice vinyasa. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down. You can use your knees. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale again through the knees or without, back to down dog. One more time, inhale. Exhale with or without knees, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, down dog. Very good. With the next inhale, keep standing on your left leg, rise your right leg up and open the hip. Let the heel fall. And take a few circles with your right leg into one direction and then into the other direction. And then bring the knee high to your chest and step forward. Left leg, left knee on the ground. Low lunge, open low lunge. You can also rise your arms above you. And now let's try, we will do this few times, flowing from low lunge into half split and from half split to high lunge. So come with me from low lunge, shift your hips back into half split. And if possible, maybe you can do it without your arms, without your hands, so that you are engaging the muscles also of the legs also for stabilization. Make sure that you have flex on your right leg, looking forward, finding your balance, or maybe even looking down. And then again, shift weight forward into your right leg and rise up into high lunge. Stay here and breathe. Make sure you are nice and low. If you hear some sounds, that's my dog in the background, sorry. And then hands down, step back into plank, take vinyasa, your form of vinyasa, with or without knees. Very good. Let's do the same on the left side. Inhale, rise your left leg, open the hip. Keep breathing. And then take a few circles with the left leg. First into one direction. And then change the direction. And then bring knee to your chest, come as high as possible and take step. Right knee on the ground, rise up into low lunge. Keep breathing. And whenever we take lunge, make sure that you are not just hanging there, but you are also engaging the muscles. So always try to keep the pelvis square. In this case, the right hip forward, left hip back. And with that, you'll feel much more opening into the hip flexors, the front hip. And once again, with exhale, shift your hips back. If you need to support yourself with the hands, if not, try to find balance. Make sure your front leg is flexed and the front knee straightening just as much as possible. So mine is also not completely straight and it's okay. We are slowly getting there, opening the muscles. And then shift weight forward, high lunge. Make sure you are not too much in a back bend. Engage the lower belly. And again, when you do this, you'll feel much more opening in the front hip, which is something we need for full split. Take a few breaths. And then bring the hands down, step back into plank and vinyasa. Very good. Let's take the same a little bit faster, one more time. So right leg up with inhale. Exhale, big step forward, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, shift the hips back. And inhale, rise up, high lunge. Exhale, hands down, step back, vinyasa. The same on the left side. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, big step forward, low lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, shift hips back. Half split. Inhale, high lunge. And exhale, hands down, step back. If you're fed up with the vinyasa, meet us in down dog. Great job. Let's continue. We'll build on it. So inhale, right leg up. Exhale, big step forward, low lunge. And this time let's stay a little bit in the low lunge. And take twist, opening to your right side. Bring in hands sideways. I don't know about you, but I'm already quite warm. And then bring your right leg on your left thigh. Inhale, rise the left arm up. And exhale, let's try to take a twist. So bring in the left elbow on the outside edge of the right knee, joining the palms and taking twist. Twists also help to release the front hip flexors even more. In this case, you should feel nice stretch in the left front hip. Besides, of course, the nice benefit of the twist. And then release, hands from each side of the leg. Inhale here. And with exhale, again, half split. Inhale, come forward again. Look to the front. And once again, exhale, shift the hips back. One last time, come forward. And exhale, shift the hips back and stay here. Into half split. So again, making sure that the hips are square, pushing the left hip forward, right hip back, and have a nice flex on the right leg. It will hurt much more. Maybe you can come a little bit deeper. And then shift the weight forward again, rise into high lunge. With inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale down. Inhale. And exhale down. Inhale. Exhale and stay low, stay deep. Again, make sure the lower belly is engaged. And open twist to the right side. Same like we did before in the low lunge. Right hand on the back thigh, inhale. Exhale. Bring the palms together, taking twist. Twist it. What's the word in Sanskrit? Oh, I forgot. Parshvakonasana. Yes. Parivrita Parshvakonasana. And then come back to middle. Hands down. And let's just step back into down dog. I think all of us had enough of the vinyasa for now. Let's do the same on the left side. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, big step forward, low lunge. Again, make sure that the hips are square, engaging also here the lower belly. And take twist to the left side. Hands sideways. Keep breathing. And then bring left hand on your back thigh, right hand up. Inhale. And with exhale, twist. Bring in palms together. So the right elbow is on the left knee. You should feel it nicely in the front hip flexors of the right leg, so the front hip. And then come back to middle, hands from each side of the leg. Inhale here. And with exhale, shift the hips back. You know this, so once again, inhale, come forward. Exhale, shift the hips back. Once again, inhale. And with exhale, shift the hips back and stay here. So half split. You should feel it under the left knee. So the left hamstrings and calf. If you don't feel it there, probably your hips are too open or you don't have flex. So again, closing the hips, making them square, and flex on the front leg. Take a few more breaths here. And then come forward and rise into high lunge. Just like we did on the right leg. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, lower down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale and stay low. Engage the lower belly. Don't be in the back bend. Take twist to the left side. Opening the arms. And then bring the left arm on your thigh. Inhale. And with exhale, come and take twist, joining the palms together. And if this is too much, always feel free to bring the knee down. So supporting yourself with the right leg, right knee on the ground. If you can, try without. And come back to middle, hands down and step back, down dog. Very good, stay in down dog, take a few breaths. Or feel free also to come into child's pose on your knees and take breaths here. And then when you're ready, come back into down dog. Once again, finding your stability. And let's continue with the right leg. So with inhale, right leg up, exhale, big step forward. And this time, let's take both hands from the inside Stepping the right leg to the outer edge of your mat. Keep holding yourself on the left arm, and with the right arm pushing into your right knee, opening. Please notice I'm on the outer edge of the right foot, so I'm not on the whole foot, I'm on the outer edge. And looking up, you should feel it nicely in the outer glutes. And then maybe you can try to also take hold of your foot. Or even if you don't take hold, you can also come a little bit higher, so not being so deep. And finding the leg. So we want to also stretch a little bit our quadriceps. If you cannot reach the foot, it's completely fine wherever you are. Just make sure that you feel it nicely in the left leg. And if you can hold your foot, you can also bring it closer. Few more breaths. And then release. And let's take as the last thing in this pose, lizard. So either you can stay here or you can even come on your elbows. Keep breathing. And your back leg, you can keep the knee on the ground, or if you really want to challenge yourself, you can also take the knee off the ground. And then release, rise up, hands from each side of the front leg, and then straighten the back leg, knee off the ground, and let's take a few times the pyramid pose. So the same principle, like when we were in low lunge, moving our hips back and coming into half split. We will do this now from high lunge, so inhale here. And then shift your hips back into pyramid. And once again, forward. And exhale. One last time, inhale. And exhale. And stay here for a few breaths. Again, not opening the hips, keeping them closed. And flex on the front leg. Straightening the front leg just as much as possible for you. Take 2 more breaths here. And then shift the weight forward, and let's come into standing split. So first, for the first variation, try to keep your hips closed. And just rising the left leg as much as possible for you without opening the hips, yes? You can keep holding the mat with both of your hands, or you can try wrapping your right hand around your right ankle, whatever is easier for you, better for you. Take a few more breaths. You should feel it nicely in the right leg, maybe also the left leg, depends. And then for the last few moments, open the hips. You can let the hips open, and for this, for sure, the left leg will come much higher now. And again, just find your balance. And then release and come into sitting. So you can bend both legs and just sit down. Well done. We are almost done on the right side with our flow. The very last thing will be seated forward bend or Janushirshasana. So just bring your left knee, so the left foot is against your inner thigh. And again, making sure that you are not opening the hips, but rather pulling the back, right leg back. And then just basically whatever you can grab. Maybe it's your calf, maybe it's your foot. And with inhale, straightening the spine, and with exhale, lower down. Wherever you are, doesn't matter. It's your shape, your position. Important is that you feel it in the right hamstrings and the calves. Make sure that you are not rounding too much, so trying really to go from as much straight back as possible. And release. Come again up. And now bend both of your knees. Take hold of your knees, and let's take a few times, rolling back on your back until you come back into standing. So a few times rocking up and down. Until on the last one you come back into standing. Slowly. Very good. Now stand with your feet hip width apart, and we'll do standing forward bend. So with inhale, look forward, and with exhale, slowly lower down. And maybe you can reach your calves, maybe you can reach the ground. Wherever you are, inhale, straighten, and with exhale, lower down. Maybe you can even grab your toes, your big toes, with your peace sign fingers and pull yourself closer. Keep breathing. And then release. And just step back. Optional vinyasa, very much optional. Let's do the same on the left leg. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, big step forward, low lunge. You will remember what we did. We went both hands from the inner side, bringing the left leg to the outer edge of the mat and opening. And then you can stay here, or maybe you can reach your back leg. Maybe you can reach your foot and bring in the stretch a little bit more into the right thigh, the quadriceps. One more deep inhale and exhale. And then release. And let's take lizard, so you can either stay here or come on your elbows. And the back knee you can keep on the ground, or if you want to challenge yourself, you can straighten the leg. Take one more inhale, exhale. And then release. Come high, hands from each side of the front leg. Straighten the back leg, and we'll do again the same, so shifting from lunge to pyramid. So with inhale here, exhale, shift the hips back. Inhale, exhale, straighten the front knee. One last time. And exhale, stay here just for a few moments. Pushing the right hip forward, left hip back, and keeping flex on the front foot. Very good, and then release. Bring weight into the front leg and come into standing split. So once again, for the first variation, keep the hips closed, so don't open. Keep them square. And just rising the right leg as high as possible for you. You can keep both hands on the ground, or you can wrap left arm around your left ankle. Whatever helps you. Keep breathing. Few more moments. And then you can open the hips. The leg will rise higher. Just stretch the whole body. Very good. And then release. Bend both legs and sit down. So once again, we will do the seated forward bend. This time the left leg is front. The right foot is against the left inner thigh. And once again, so don't open the hips and doing like a side forward bend. Keep the hips squared. You want to position your whole body over the front leg, not from the side. Inhale here. And with exhale, slowly lower down. Maybe you can grab your calf, maybe you can grab your foot, pulling yourself closer. Keep breathing. And then release. Look up. Bend both legs. Again, hug your knees. And we'll rock a few times on our back until we come into standing. One last time. And if you can also use arms behind your back to help you sit down and rise up. Very good. We are almost there. One last time. Bring your hips, bring your feet hip distance apart. And we'll do once again a variation of forward bend. So hands on your hips, inhale here. And with exhale, fold forward. So here depends which variation you did the last time. You can try to challenge yourself to go a little bit deeper. If, for example, the last time you used holding your big toes, then this time you can do the Padahastasana, so putting your hands underneath your feet from the front like this, so with the palm facing up. And with this, the stretch will be even deeper. So with inhale, look forward. And with exhale, pull yourself closer. But it's completely fine also if you are just holding your calves and pulling yourself, or holding the floor, the mat, whatever works for you. And then release, and just step back, optional vinyasa. Very good. So we have made it. This was all of our preparation for the splits. Now the only thing left are the splits itself. So I suggest, if you are at home, if you have your blocks, it's a nice idea to use them. You can place one block from each side, and you will use them underneath your hands as you will be going deeper into the split. It can help to make it a little bit safer, so that you can enter with more control. If you don't have the blocks, we can do also without. So I will try it without this time, but feel free. So we will enter from the half split. So once again, the same entry. So when we were in down dog, with inhale you raise your right leg up, and with exhale you come forward into low lunge. And from here, so either you can kind of wiggle your leg forward, or you can also lift yourself a little bit higher up on your arms, and then stepping forward with the leg. Whatever works for you the best. I know that the mat is, holding you a little bit, so slowly. If you stay like this, it's more than fine. It's perfect. Just stay wherever you feel that it's working. So you should feel a nice stretch in the front leg hamstrings and the calf, and in the back leg, also in the front hip. If you can slowly but surely come deeper. Maybe you are somewhere like this. And again, you can keep holding yourself on your arms. If you have the blocks, it will help you be more straight instead of forward bend. And if you can, maybe you can come all the way down. What I'm usually doing is that I keep the back leg toes tucked, because they help me protect the knee. They make sure that I'm not rotating the back leg forward, that I'm not opening the hip so much. Wherever you are, congrats. And just take a few breaths. You can do a little movement here, whatever feels good. For me, this kind of wiggling from side to side a little bit helps to release. Maybe you can also bend forward a little bit. And then release. And slowly come back. Very good. Congrats. Let's do the same on the left side, and then we will have one more chance. So we'll repeat the same once again, because usually it's normal that, the more times you do it, but of course to some extent, not like endlessly. But when you do it 2 or 3 times, then you feel that on the second or on the third time, you are able to get deeper. So once again, from down dog, with inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step forward. And from the half split, you can start shifting the leg forward, or the back leg back, straightening. Wherever you come, however deep you come, It doesn't matter what's the outside picture, you know, it matters what you feel in it. So just come as deep as you can. Maybe you slowly find the way to the full split. And by the way, it's normal that one leg feels easier or more flexible and the other leg more stiff. For me, this one, the left leg, always has been more flexible. So this one feels easier. Keep in mind, so of course the hip will open a little bit. It's almost impossible to be completely square, but try to really keep holding together. So pulling the left hip back, the right hip front. Maybe you can forward a little bit. And then release. And once again, rise up. One step back. Very good. Take a few moments. Just sit on your heels. Breathe. Integrate whatever you felt. And just one more remark. So it's always better to be warmed up before, and we want the stretch to be active, so not only passive. Yes, you can do also passive stretches, but over time, active stretches are safer, and through the engagement of muscles, in the end, you will also be able to get deeper, actually, than if you would be doing only passive stretches. And then once again, let's do the right side, and then we'll do the left side. So once again, big step forward. You can, by the way, if you are struggling with the big step forward, you can always do it on two phases, so one and other, or you can even help yourself with the right arm. And from here, once again, shifting the hips back and finding your way into the split. Maybe this time you feel it's going a little bit easier. Maybe you are able to go a little bit deeper. But remember the story from the beginning. The practice is and has never been about the full splits in the end. You remember we talked about the devotion to the practice as such. So this is just the cherry on the top. And then release, or optional, if someone is very, very comfortable, you can also do it without the hands. For me on the right side it's difficult. When you're ready, you can release. And one last time, the left side. So once again, big step forward. Shifting the hips back. And slowly but surely coming into the split. Find a little bit comfort in this. You know, you can do a little bit movements, right and back, settle. So on this side, I can show you what I meant. So the full Hanumanasana should actually be with hands above. So you keep balance within the legs, and then with inhale, rising your hands above and looking up. If you want to try. Or you can take a little bit of forward bend. And then slowly releasing, coming back to sitting. Once again, just sit back on your heels, close your eyes. You can turn the palms facing up and just integrate. You can hear your own breath, or maybe some small sounds around you from the environment. Now you can let go. You're slowly coming into the closing, restful positions. So when you're ready, open your eyes and then just lay down on your back. And from here, bring your knees to your chest. And you can do again a little bit of movements, right and left. Maybe you can do a little bit of circles with the legs. And then let's take twists. So bringing both knees to your left side. Or if you are more comfortable, you can also extend the left leg and the right leg, the right knee goes to the left side. Opa. Sorry, I'm ruining this ladder over here. And just let go. Releasing the spine. And then slowly come back to middle. And exchange. Again, you can take the variation that both legs are turning to your right side, or maybe if you feel better, you can straighten the right leg and the left knee goes to the right side. And looking into the left side, the opposite. And with every exhale, releasing a little bit more. And then again, come to middle. Give yourself one final big hug. So bringing both knees to your chest. Hugging the knees and really squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze a lot. And release. Savasana, corpse pose, and just let go. You don't need to control anything anymore. Just let the body be heavy, falling into the ground. You did a great job today, progressing towards the splits, or maybe even reaching the splits. Just feel free to stay in Savasana as long as you would like. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.